Okay, so how important do you think it is for men to think about their mental health?
Um, I think it's very important because, from man's point of view, it's like in most cases, with the way we're kind of like brought up, everyone always wants to think, or every man wants to think, oh, they're all macho, strong. They can handle quite a lot of stress and pressure as a man, but in reality, not really, because unlike women usually when they're like stressed out or they're so emotional about certain things, they either cry it
Mm.
out or go to their girls and vent or whatever. But us men tend to bottle a lot in,
Is there a
which is
particular reason why you think men bottle? Why do men bottle it all up?
I think a lot has to do with like pride and ego. Like, look, I'm meant to be a man, handle my business. But deep down, I mean, there are quite a lot of men who are walking around with a very strong face, but inside they're depressed because
Right.
they've not actually offloaded or
Yeah.
taken that load off their chest. There's so many men that are dying out there, but you just don't know
Mm.
they're dying. And what I usually do, like with some of my friends, I do have a couple of male friends that we talk about our issues, we discuss things, and that relieves the burden a bit because we all carry a lot of stuff on our chest.
Yeah.
And because of the way we are, the way we're brought up, and we feel, oh, we can't really cry about it or feel down about it. We do need to talk about it. We need to like get things off our chest,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. It's
because
quite a
it's so
heavy
much,
load to
it
carry,
is a
isn't
lot.
it?
It is a heavy load.
Yeah.
It is a heavy load because especially when you have so many commitments or people that depend on you or so much stuff that you need to deal with and still be strong and put that brave face on.
Mm.
You also, it's so much.
Where do you think the idea of putting a brave face on, where do you think that comes from for men?
Well, I feel okay. I'll speak from the, should I say, the African mentality, right?
Right.
Whereby a man is meant to be a man. A man is meant to handle his business. A man is
Mm.
meant to be strong,
Yeah.
regardless of what comes his way. He's gonna handle it.
True, true, true.
That mentality gets stuck in our head from day one. And then when life hits you later on, you're like, okay, if you even if you have that mentality, sometimes it, you can't handle what you have to deal with. You have
Mm.
to offload. You know.
True, true. So do you think that, like, do you think with men,
Mm-hmm.
do you think they even recognize when they're having a little bit of a mental health crisis?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't think so.
So
I,
what like for you, if you've ever felt that your mental health wasn't great,
mm-hmm.
what kind of things were you experiencing? How was it for you?
mm, I think, well, with me, it was my reaction towards certain things.
Okay.
I'll become more. How to put it? Sometimes, what's the word again? Like
Agitated?
agitated, irritated, passive aggressive.
Mm.
Snap a lot, and then it takes somebody else to point and think, hold on, is everything okay? Are you
Right.
alright?
Yeah.
And then when you sit back and think about it, like, I might be really stressed out. Like I've got so much stuff on my plate, and so it's like I wouldn't actually realize that I'm having a mental breakdown
Mm.
because I'm always like I'm so much of a fixer. I'm always trying to sort stuff out and everything without actually realizing maybe I've taken a lot more than I meant to, and
Right.
it's now affecting my attitude towards people, and I'm reacting to so many things, even the littlest of things. I'm reacting to that
Mm.
in a negative way, not even a positive way, a negative way. Because when you're so irritable and you're snapping at everything, it's not a positive response; it's a negative response.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's coming from
And that
somewhere.
in itself might even cause more drama. That
Exactly,
then
where
gets you
escalates it.
even more stressed,
Exactly,
and you just keep going in this
exactly,
cycle.
exactly,
Right, right. So
exactly.
if you think about maybe like you say about the time when you started to feel that agitation and
Mhm,
stress
mhm,
sort of symptoms,
mhm.
what other symptoms like do you think happened in the build up to that? So that if you were given if that was to happen to you again,
Mhm.
what kind of things would you be feeling that
Mhm.
will let you know that your mental health is declining?
Well, it's not just my mental health.
Mm.
Also, I'll be feeling, how I put it, I'll be extremely tired,
Mm.
or I can tell I'm not getting enough sleep.
Right.
they're physically a lot
Is this
of things
because maybe
start
you're
to change.
thinking at night and that's why you're not sleeping, or
No, it's
why is
because
it that people,
it's because the mental is not affecting the physical.
Oh,
So
okay.
because there's so much in your mind, or you're stressing about so many things which you've taken on your plate, it then starts to affect you physically because you're not getting enough sleep, you're getting tired a lot, you're getting the headaches a lot. You know, so it comprises of both.
Right.
You know, but as I always say, the best way of actually dealing with it is, first of all, just pausing. Just like, okay, take for instance, if I'm working for so many hours, like constantly, like how many days in a row, I have to then ask myself and say, look, this money that I'm chasing, is it actually worth it? Is it actually worth the headache and the sleepless nights and the stress and all that stuff? You actually have to pause and analyze, check yourself.
Yeah.
You know, or if you're not gonna check yourself, get somebody to check you. You know, to monitor you and say, okay, and notice the change in your moods, and then they can point and say, I think you're now getting to that point that
Yeah. Again.
you need to you know, chill. And also talking to people, because I talk a lot to, you see, should I say the African community, or they tend to men tend to shy away from like therapy without realizing that actually helps, because you actually take it a lot off.
Yes.
And even if you don't even want to go for therapy, get one of your close boys. He may be going through the same thing. One of your men, one of your guys.
To find a trusted person
Exactly.
that you can talk to.
And just talk about it. Just talk about whatever. You'll feel 10 times more better afterwards. Even though you may have certain problems that may not have gone away from talking, but at least your attitude towards that problem totally changes or improves from what it was before.
Okay.
You know, you might actually begin to see things from a different point of view and a different light, and then you'll be able to sort things out in a different way compared to being stressed out and going crazy about one thing or the other.
Yeah. So, like, what kind of things do you think are useful for men to do, apart from, you know, I mean, you've talked about talking to friends, talking to a trusted person, maybe having therapy. Is there anything that, like, you think works better for men to manage their mental health?
I would say give yourself a break.
Giving yourself a break?
Give yourself a break, because if you're constantly dealing with the same thing every single day, or let me just use work as an example. If you're working crazy hours every single day, you gotta give yourself a break, like time to rest, at least once a week, whereby you don't think of anything, you don't do anything that will, you know, get your stress levels up again. Just give yourself time out to just pause and be still.
Yes.
And then start again the next day.
Okay.
Because you don't want it to start affecting your health. Because in most cases, it would actually affect your health.
Yeah, you know, we know kind of like men tend to suffer more from the high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease type, you know, physical things that all generally linked to stress and their mental health. So it's quite important that, you know, more men encourage each other to talk about these things. And if there was one bit of advice that you'd have given to your younger self about your mental health, what would that be?
Don't overthink too much.
Don't overthink
too much, because that can take your mind to certain places you don't want to go. So don't overthink too much, for real.
Yeah. Overthinking is kind of everybody's issue, but and I do wonder, like, with overthinking, it's always about a fear that's not even valid, probably most of the time, that people worry that this is going to happen, that's going to happen, and quite often people just sort of exaggerate it in their mind. So yeah, overthinking, and I think people don't actually know how to identify overthinking, but I think that's definitely a good thing for a younger person to get a handle on and be able to manage overthinking.
Yeah.
Okay. And now that you're like in your 40s, is there anything different that happens around your mental health compared to when you were younger?
I feel, because the way I manage my mental health is I try my best to exercise a lot.
Okay.
And especially at the beginning of the day. And when I do that, it's not even about okay, I'm going to the gym to look a certain way or whatever. It's actually about maintaining your physical fitness.
Okay.
But also, exercising is not. There's also a mental side to it, because you set yourself challenges to do certain things, but at the same time, it sets your mind for the rest of the day.
Right.
in a very positive way.
Yes.
So I never used to do that before. It was all about work, sleep, work again, sleep. You know, but now I take that. That's so important to me. It's like it's really, really important to me. Even if it's just going, even if it's just taking a walk. I started that recently,
Okay.
and it's helped me a lot.
Just like kind of like a lot of oxygen to the brain.
Yes.
And I mean, there's so much research
Yes.
about taking in more oxygen
Yeah,
into your brain and how that helps you
it's changed a lot.
think better.
Yeah, it's really, really improved a lot in me because like just even if it's like a 30-minute walk in a quiet place, it calms you down so much.
That's good.
You know?
That's good.
And I never used to do that before.
Yeah, exercise, but not necessarily hard grafting exercise. Just
Not
something
necessarily.
simple.
Something simple just
That
to
gives you a
calm
chance to reflect, calm down. You know, have a time to yourself,
and
time to meditate in a way, really.
Yes, because after I do that, I realize, you know, I'm thinking differently towards whatever I've got to do, you know, that day or that week. My mindset completely changes.
Right.
Because my mind is now in a calmer place to structure, analyze, put things in place, analyze everything and say, okay, fine, I'm looking this direction, looking that direction, okay, fix this here, fix this there. Compared to just having this jungle of whatever in my head.
Lots of thoughts, lots of things.
But calming yourself down really makes a huge change.
Amazing.
It makes a huge difference.
Amazing. Okay, well, I'm glad that you found some strategies that work for you. Hopefully, other men start to recognize that it's not a sign of being weak, doing something about your mental health, or recognizing that, you know, your mental health, you need to look after it to actually help your physical health and help other parts of your body.
But in addition to that, I feel the older I'm getting, the more important it is compared to before. Because your frame of mind is more of, you know, I just want peace, quiet.
Peace.
So so I try not to take myself or put myself in certain positions that are gonna, like, you know, rattle the cage or create. I'll just rather be in peace mode. You know, so